Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Shai Bashim Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops, salutations to all my fellow laborers, doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird among the heathens, that look like the heathens. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. All right. Um, and this is the reverse look of the Chicago skyline. From one of the two water purification spots that sit offshore in the water. And it's funny thing too is that when you go far enough away from the city, because if I'm not mistaken, this thing is about a mile out from the actual city. But once you get out, like around out there, away from the city, like 2 miles off the uh, the shoreline, the waters actually get blue again because all the pollution is concentrated more toward in the center. But this, I'm gonna tell you, man, when I was a kid, Chicago had, and any Chicagoans, especially any Chicagoan that's you know that's 50 years or older, someone in their 60s and 70s, they really would know. Chicago actually had the best tasting tap water in the whole country, hands down. All right, I mean the water that you tasted in the parks, right out the holes, with it had a taste to it that was so good. And now when you go to put the cup to you, there's a smell in the water and there's a taste. I remember the first time I had tap water in California. I was like, "God, this is disgusting." That was in the '80s, and the first time I had it in New York, I was like, "Man, these people, damn, this is what they drinking." But now Chicago water is just as bad. As a matter of fact, let me read the scripture. This is Revelation 11 and 18, and it reads, "The nations were angry, and the wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyeth the earth." And these Edomites, like I said, what did the title said? More than 8 million Illinoisans get drink of water from the utility where forever chemicals have been detected. Tribune investigations find. And we tell you on a constant basis that this man has destroyed the air, he destroyed the water, he destroys the food, and as a result of that, people are getting sick. So I don't know if this is I don't need to read that. It says it's just talking about the skyline. No, maybe I should read it. The Chicago skyline can be seen beyond the Harrison-Dever water intake crib in Lake Michigan on June 22nd, 2022. Water is pumped through the tunnel that runs underneath the lake and connects the crib complex to the Jardine water purification plant. Worrisome concentrations PFAs have been detected in Chicago, which provides treated Lake Michigan water to more than 5 million people in the city and suburbs. Aaron Hooley, Chicago Tribune. All right, and it reads, something as simple as drinking tap water is exposing millions of Illinoisans to toxic chemicals that build up in human blood, cause cancer and other diseases, and take years to leave the body. You hear this shit? It's like, okay, so somebody should be going to jail, man. All right, and this just goes to show you these people are not fit to rule. It says when the wicked, are in rulership, the people mourn. The whole world is in mourning, man. That's why it's uprisings all over the place. It says scientists call the chemicals per polyfluorocarbon, whatever the hell they say, substances or PFAs. They are commonly known as forever chemicals because they don't break down in the environment. Damn. Wow. Despite plenty of warning signs, Illinois' Environmental Protection Agency didn't begin testing the state's water utilities or PFAs until August 2020, and the state and local officials downplayed the results, burying notices filled with technical jargon on government websites. I wonder what other things that they bury, regarding health and things of that nature. Better not say nothing. They'll give me another strike. But these people are just wicked, man, and prescribe mischief by law because they allow these things to be done. All right, they allow these things to be done. Let me grab. Let's go to Isaiah. I think it's 28 and 1. And it reads, "Woe to the crown of pride." Is that it? Yeah. "Woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkards of Ephraim, whose glorious beauty is fading flower, which are at the head of the fat valleys, and of them that are overcome by wine." And that wine is these philosophies and this pseudoscience, putting these chemicals to say this is better for this and this is better for that. And all you're doing is destroying the sea life and destroying destroying the fish in the water, which in turn destroys the people on the land. And then a lot of this water is getting collected up and sprayed in hoses and sprayed on plants. I was just riding with Yasharala and we were looking at all the discoloration, and weird colors. You got forever green trees that are actually turning like silver. There's a reason why they call forever green. All right. Let me jump down to verse 7. All right. It says, "But they also have erred through wine and through strong drink, and are out." And what's that? The philosophies and the ways of Babylon, of this wicked so-called white man, this self-proclaimed white man, because they're not white. All right, they're red. All right, and it says, "But they also have erred through wine and through strong drink, are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up in wine. They are out of the way through strong drink and err in vision, and they stumble with judgment." And that's on all things, because they follow. Speaking about our people, they follow the ways of Babylon, and Babylon is nothing but strong drink, which strong, filthy, polluted drink, both spiritually and physically. All right, but you got people that join unto these people and believe in them. It's like lining up to get to get something put in your body. If they do this to the water, what do you think they're gonna do to you? All right. Let me read a little bit more. I'm not gonna read all of this, and it says, I read that part. I'll read it again. It says, "Until now, the scope of the PFA's problems in Illinois remain unknown. More than 8 million people in the state. 6 out of every 10 Illinoisans get drinking water from the utility where at least one forever chemical has been detected, according to the Chicago Tribune investigation that included computerized analysis of test results, a review of court documents, government records, and scientific studies. Worrisome concentrations of PFAs, have been found in Chicago, which provide treated Lake Michigan water to more than 5 million people in the city and suburbs. The chemicals are in the other lakefront communities with their own water treatment plants, including Evanston, Glencoe, Lake Forest, Waukegan, Wilmette, and Winnetka. Forever chemicals also contain drinking water from wells and rivers throughout the Chicago area and dozens of downstate communities from the cities such as East St. Louis, Peoria, Rockford, and small rural towns and mobile home parks. So this is a thing not just in the city, but all throughout the state of Illinois. All right, it's disgusting and overwhelming at the same time," said Ellen Meeks Rudelich, co-director of Grassroots Environment Group in Will County, where the state found PFAs in a dozen communities, including Chris Rail Court Mobile Home Park in Juliet. All right, Tracy Lur remembered that the state official came twice last year to test the well on the property. Lear, who had lived in Criswell Court for 21 years, said that she and her neighbors were never warned their water is contaminated with PFAs at levels up to 1,800 times higher, than the latest federal health advisory. That 1,800 points above, and the federal health advisory is probably already dangerous to your health anyway, and it's 1,800. All right. But why? Because that's comes under their wicked law, man. Matter of fact, it makes me think. Let's go to Psalms 94 and 20. Psalms 94 and 20. And it reads, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? So, on every level, they frame mischief by law and make it lawful. And clearly it was someone making money on this wickedness, which is why it's done. And all these this is one of the most corrupt states in the whole union, Illinois. Especially the city of Chicago. When you got taxes and licenses for this and that, fees for this and that, and then and half that money never gets to where it's supposed to go. Is funneled into all the hands of all these politicians. You could be an alderman in the right neighborhood, man. You can actually probably have more money than the mayor if you're in the right spot. But matter of fact, let's go to Nahum. We're gonna wrap this up. But that's utterly disgusting, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. All right, but Nahum and 3, and we're gonna read like 15 through 19 through the end there. And it says, there shall the fire devour thee, and the sword shall cut thee off. It shall eat thee up like a cankerworm, and make thyself many as the cankerworm, make thyself many as the locust. Thou hast multiplied thy merchants above the stars of heaven. The cankerworm spoileth and filleth away. And America is just circling the drain. All right. More and more nations are joining onto the BRICS. As a matter of fact, Argentina, Iran, Egypt, Turkey, and somebody there. Those 4 are actually doing applications, I believe, today. It's to actually become a part of the BRICS countries. So the BRICS countries, more and more nations are joining on to the BRICS countries. The NATO is falling apart, and more and more nations are leaving NATO, which ensures the destruction that Chicago's magnificent skyline, and it is an amazing skyline, one of the most amazing in the world. It really is. Especially with all all the new construction of all the different high-rise buildings along the lakefront and along the river. It's spectacular. It is, but it's gonna be nothing compared to the kingdom, and it's all vanity and vain, because the Lord's gonna destroy it all. Let's keep reading. I'll read 15 again. They shall devour thee, the sword shall cut thee off and eat thee up like the cankerworm. Make thyself many as the cankerworm, make thyself many as the locust. Thou hast multiplied thy merchants above the stars of heaven. The cankerworm spoileth and fleeth away. Thy crown are like the locust, and thy captains are great grasshoppers, which camp in the hedges in a cold day. But when the sun ariseth, they flee away, and their place is not known where they be. Thy shepherds slumber, O king of Assyria. Thy nobles shall dwell in dust. Thy people is scattered upon the mountains, and a man gathereth them. There is no healing of thy bruise. Thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap the hands over thee, for upon whom have not thy wickedness passed continually. So the whole world is going to actually rejoice. They're gonna be sad at first, the ones who, especially the merchants who made money, but the relief from being bullied and controlled by the hammer that basically saw the whole world as a nail. The hammer of the earth is being brought down, man. And look, you can't even have drinking water in your cities without getting cancer and all other manner of diseases from drinking it. All right, so with that, we give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash, Wa Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala Shalom.